Good evening from Bondi Beach, the world's most iconic stretch of sand, tonight eerily empty, now the scene of one of the darkest moments in our nation's history. As the sun was setting on Sunday, two gunmen, a father and son, opened fire as families gathered to celebrate the Jewish Festival of Lights. 15 innocent lives were taken and more than 40 people were injured. Among those, a Holocaust survivor and a 10-year-old girl. Senior reporter Damien Ryan begins our coverage.
Two men we now know, a father and son, were behind the massacre. Heavily armed, positioning themselves on a walkway bridge, shooting down at their target, the 1,000-strong crowd from the Jewish community. The massacre lasted 9 minutes, and almost every second and every angle was captured by someone with a mobile phone.
What do you make of the Australian government? And I have been incredibly critical of failure after failure after failure. And I say a lack of moral courage, but I think you're courageous. I don't think it required courage from them to do what is right. That is their job. We put them in office to protect us and our way of life, and they have failed.
I think this requires morals more than courage.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a prime minister or a president to say the truth. It requires morals to be able to distinguish between what is politically right and wrong and what is morally right and wrong. Today, the politicians think it is politically wrong to call out the communities these extremist terrorists, which is exactly what they are, came out of. They find it to be a political risk. Why? Because they speak the language of votes and money. And that is the lowest way to live your life, being dominated by power and making sure that no one takes this chair of leadership from you. Real leadership is when you are able to express yourself in the way that your heart sees things and believes so. I don't think the Prime Minister of Australia doesn't know that this was a massacre of Jews on Hanukkah. I don't think he doesn't know this targeted Jews and it was carried out by Islamist extremists. He knows very well, but it's not cowardice. It's lack of morals. I think rewarding the Palestinians with a Palestinian state gets you exactly this.
Canada intends to recognize the state of Palestine at the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly in September 2025.
It was wrong to do so because these are the very people that came out supporting October 7, then followed it up with chants around the Upper House saying gas the Jews. These are the exact same people. If you want to say this is free speech, fine, do so. And then you have ASIO, which of course will come out and say they were on a watch list. They were known to us. Right? And you'll hear this around the world, in UK, in Australia, in Europe, whenever there's a terrorist attack, they were known to. What does a watch list mean? What does a watch list mean? What does that mean? It means you're watching them carry out terrorist attacks? What does that mean? There are no watch lists in Dubai. There's no watch list in Saudi Arabia. There's no watch list in Bahrain. If you're a threat, you're out.
Yes.
It's very simple. That's Muslim logic.
Point. Why do we give people chances the first time they show us what they might be capable of? Sorry, I'm not willing to take the risk. I don't want my daughter to take the risk. Get them out.
And I don't think it's a mystery, because when we speak about the Middle East, we're not talking about something in Mars or on Pluto. It's happening here. People transit from Australia to the Middle East and they spend a few days there and they see exactly how safe it is. Why is it so safe? Because extremists are not allowed to wave the Al-Qaeda flag in the UAE. You can't do that in Saudi Arabia. You can't open up a Facebook page in Saudi Arabia and support the Muslim Brotherhood. That's not going to happen. And you can call it democracy and free speech and people have the right to express their views. With all due respect, if your view is to behead me, then I will make sure you do not exist in the same society that I exist in. This is the logic of the rulers in the Middle East.